Hey, good evening, everybody. I should say good morning to everybody, I guess, is what I need to be talking about. So, we do have some new severe thunderstorm warnings that are out for the tier of county just on the other side of the state line. And of course, this is going to include Miami, Lynn, Wyandotte, Johnson County on the Kansas side. And of course, that is because of this intense line of storms. I've been tracking this all the way over since central Kansas. And of course, they have had several tornado warnings with little spin up tornadoes along the way. We had strong straight line winds out in central Kansas over 100 miles per hour in Salina, Kansas. And just to show you guys, this was during that severe thunderstorm warning for Salina. They had 100-mile-an-hour winds come through. This is courtesy of KAKE out of Salina. And of course, you see all kinds of tree damage, branches down. They've got small outbuildings. I think Max Velocity called it a trampoline warning. So, again, there is probably going to be some trampolines that are going to be found maybe a couple counties over from Salina. But all that was happening. That line of storms is now moving across the eastern part of Kansas, and it is going to start to affect those over near Olathe, Spring Hill, Paola, Lacine, Mound City here over the next half hour or so. Now, this line is projected to weaken as it continues to move off to the east. So that's one of the reasons why we don't see Pettis, Benton, Hickory County under that severe thunderstorm watch. And again, all the latest data before I went live is showing that this is likely going to weaken as it crosses the state line. But nonetheless, we could be dealing with some very strong winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. And of course, this is going to be over a very broader of an area than say a little spin up tornado. So we could do a lot of damage over a much broader area. So it is something we need to be paying very close attention to. The severe thunderstorm warnings that are out for Wyandotte, Johnson down to Lynn, Miami. Now that's for 70 mile per hour winds, and that has a damage threat of considerable. So again, we definitely need to stay weather aware as this line comes in. A very important thing, make sure you guys have a plan in case of power outages. There are several power outages out there across central eastern Kansas right now. And of course, if we get those 70 mile per hour winds, we're likely going to see some power outages. So make sure you have a flashlight. Make sure you have batteries in your weather radio. Make sure your phone is charged up. Just make sure that you're prepared for a potential power outage. Whether or not that power outage lasts 30 minutes or it could last 3 or 4 hours. Just make sure you're prepared for that. So that is definitely going to be our biggest threat of the night, is going to be for those strong straight line winds. Now, this line has had a history of, again, producing those little spin ups. I enjoy watching Max Velocity on the I guess the countrywide side of things. And of course, they have not been issuing very many tornado warnings tonight. And I think it's because there are just too many of them. You're pretty much having to warn that entire line of the potential. So they're going with a severe thunderstorm warnings with 70 mile per hour or greater winds are possible along the leading edge of this line of storm. So it is traveling at, let's see here, at a pretty good clip, about 50 miles per hour. So if we did a time stamp on a couple of these areas along the line here, we got Belton in 40 minutes, Warrensburg in an hour and a half, Higginsville in an hour and a half. We have Harrisonville in 45 minutes, Clinton in about an hour and 20 minutes, Warrensburg an hour and 20 minutes, Windsor in an hour and a half, Sweet Springs in close to 2 hours, and Sedalia, excuse me, Sedalia in about 2 hours. And take a look at the southern bookend of this storm here. We have Rich Hill in about 50 minutes, Butler 52 minutes, Appleton City a little over an hour, El Dorado Springs about an hour 15, Clinton hour and a half, Osceola hour and a half, Warsaw in about 2 hours, and Coal Camp about 2 hours. So that's going to be something that we are we're going to be tracking. It's moving at a pretty good clip, and again, once this line moves past us, we ought to be fine for the rest of the night. But we are going to be watching for those little spin-ups as well as winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. Oh, Jordan, thank you, buddy. Thanks for that super chat. Appreciate that. Coffee, I'll tell you what, I got tea tonight. Good old unsweetened Gold Peak tea is what my drink of choice is tonight, but I will be needing that cup of coffee first thing in the morning. Definitely need it first thing in the morning. Hey, good morning, Derek Dunn. Yeah, definitely charge the phones. Definitely want to charge the phones. And again, make sure you have a flashlight. Make sure you have your shoes nearby. And again, this is, we haven't seen really a whole lot of damage coming through yet, all of the communication channels, but there definitely has been some damage across the area. There's Clinton, Kansas. Looked like they had 1 inch hail. So we haven't had too many reports of hail with this line of storm, but looked like they picked up 1 inch hail, quarter size in Clinton, Kansas. 70 mile per hour winds was reported in Jefferson County, Kansas about 4 minutes ago. And that's going to be up here, looked like about north of Perry, north of 24 Highway. Check velocities out here. And again, a huge wind bag. Looked like the strongest of the winds in between Garnett and Lawrence, Kansas is where the bulk of the strong winds are sitting at right now. looks like that northern bookend, which is up here around the Lawrence area. That's right around Topeka. That's where we're seeing a lot of the little circulations up here in this area. Silver Lake, Topeka, up near Lawrence, DeSoto. So this is going to be an area, this is the northern bookend. So that northern bookend, remember, whenever we start talking about a Boeing segment, think of it like a river, because that's basically what we got going on here is pretty much a river of water that is moving across. It acts just like a liquid. So if you think of a river, whenever it makes a bend, it makes that little eddy, okay, right at the bend. And so on the north bookend and the south bookend, that's where you find those little eddies. And so that's what we're seeing here as well. Up on the northern bookend, we start to see all these little bitty eddies. And right there, look over, again, over Topeka. Let's go to Topeka's, let's go to, we're getting some very strong winds coming into Topeka right now. And being so close to the radar site, a lot of these winds are likely getting awfully close to the surface. So we're talking winds, 70, 75 miles per hour coming into Topeka right now. So very, very strong winds. We also have very strong winds down here coming into Paola, coming into Olathe, Spring Hill, Lacine. So again, very strong winds going to be coming into these areas. And of course, we'll be watching for any little short-lived spin-ups that could be happening along the leading edge of this line. Hi, Sean. I just did some storm tracks. I'll do this again here. About 40 minutes, Sean. ETA to Harrisonville. So we just went through all the towns on estimated times of arrivals here just a couple minutes ago. We'll do it again here in about 20 minutes or so. And again, this line of storms is expected to be weakening as it crosses the state line. It's going into a little bit unfavorable conditions as it comes across the state line. But this thing is going to hold together just long enough to produce some strong straight line winds in excess of 70 miles per hour in some of our western Missouri counties. And again, most of west central Missouri, with the exception of Pettis and Benton counties, are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 4 a.m. So we have a ways to go before this line clears west central Missouri, but I really think by the time it gets along a 13 highway, north and south line, we're really going to start to see that line begin to weaken. But, and again, Mother Nature might have other plans on it too. So, as you guys know, it's still very juicy out there. We still have dew points in the upper 60, near 70 degrees out there. So we still have plenty of fuel for these thunderstorms, but we're just going to have to watch this line as it continues to march across to the east, across the state line into west central Missouri. The biggest threat from this line is going to be wind speeds in excess of 70 miles per hour. Hi, Kenna. So we've done all the storm tracks of all the cities around west central Missouri. I do believe Butler was about 30 minutes. Warsaw, 2 hours. Hi, Brian. Well, we've been talking for, the LRC painted a pretty ugly picture for the month of June. We have been expecting to have that extended severe weather season into June. I do believe that by the time we get to right around that third week of June, I think we're going to start to kind of switch over to summer mode. We still have a couple systems that'll be pushing through in July. I got the latest LRC report here, actually. So again, the second, third week of June is looking like and again, the LRC, that's the Leezak recurring cycle, and that is basically it's set up on every 78 days, and we begin to repeat cycling of the what's going on at 18,000 feet above our heads. So based on that, in which so far this thing has been absolutely spot on, and this was actually developed back day after Thanksgiving. So we've been following all the storm systems all the way through winter into spring, and now we are in late spring. So the second, third week of June look like it is going to be very stormy again. We have several systems that are going to be cycling back around. And then that first week of July, the middle week of July, right around the 15th, we'll have another big storm system. And then the first about 9 days of August, we are going to start to have an area of what I like to call divergence, in which we're going to see several storm systems within an 8 to 10 day stretch, and then it's going to shut down. It's going to shut down right around the 8th of August, and then we are going to possibly have record-breaking heat and very dry conditions. So again, a very active June, but and we're going to heat up. We're going to have heat indexes over 108 degrees tomorrow. So again, the LRC has been projecting this for several months now. The only thing that had changed has been the record-breaking El Nino that is currently developing. That is a small influence on the LRC, and what that is signifying is that that's going to give a kink in the jet stream. The jet stream is at 18,000 feet. Those are the steering winds of all the thunderstorms, all the systems out there, and it's going to put a kink on it, in which is going to give us a little bit better chance to see more precipitation, more storm systems between June and September, which that's great news, because in a La Nina year like we had last year, that means more drier. It doesn't put a kink in that jet stream, keeps it all well to the north. So that's a promising thing, that we could see more rainfall continue this. It's great for the farmers. They're loving it. But this is going to keep the moisture in the ground a little bit longer. But then we have to talk about winter. And this typically signifies a very active winter. for here in west central Missouri. So we're just going to have to wait and see what the LRC says here on the next update. They do the dashboard updates about once every 2 weeks. The Global Predictor, an app you can get for your phone, they update every Saturday night. So, but so far, this is the same one I've been using since Thanksgiving, and it's nearly 100% accurate. So, we still have a couple more weeks of severe weather before we start to calm down here in west central Missouri. We still have a considerable damage threat assessment on this line of thunderstorms with 70-mile-per-hour winds. Looks like it is coming into Bonner Springs, DeSoto, Gardner, Spring Hill, Paola, Lacine, and then continue to push on off to the east across the state line. You got a nice little pocket of radar picking up over 80 miles per hour over Gardner, Kansas right now. Now, granted, that's a little bit away from the radar site in Pleasant Hill. So, of course, the further away you get from the radar site, the higher up in the atmosphere that the radar is actually pointing to. So maybe not all that wind is hitting the surface, but awfully close. Awfully close. So looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. As you can see here on your screen across radar. Let's go ahead and put this back to reflectivity. So they have went ahead. We'll hear my weather radio go off here in a moment. We will pause and then I will shut that down. So that severe thunderstorm warning is going to be for Jackson, Cass, as well as most of Bates County. This will include Butler, Adrian, Archie, Harrisonville, Peculiar, Pleasant Hill, Belton, Raymore, Lee Summit, Greenwood, Blue Springs, KC Metro. So this is also going to be for that damage threat of considerable 70-mile-per-hour wind possible for this area. So again, this is going to be something we need to prepare. Make sure your plants are in off the porch. Make sure your lawn furniture is folded down. Make sure that you have a flashlight handy, your shoes handy. Make sure everything is charged up, because there is a potential we could see some power outages if these winds do happen to reach 70 miles per hour as they come through our area. So that's kind of a great question. You have a debate in your house: is it safe to shower during a storm? So things have changed a little bit, but then a lot of it is the same. So years ago, that was a big no-no. You were to stay out of the bathroom whenever there is a thunderstorm. And the main reason is that if your house gets struck by lightning and not grounded properly, that lightning, that electricity will travel along your metal pipes, your water pipes in your house into the bathroom. That has happened several times and has created fires and have shocked people, electrocuted people. Most houses these days have plastic pipes. So, but nonetheless, it is not recommended to take a shower during a thunderstorm when it is lightning out because, of course, water is a conductor of electricity. You got two trains of thought. It can't travel along plastic or PEX pipe. And you know, that big claim to fame was mainly from the steel pipes, the metal pipes, the lead pipes that were in all of our bathrooms here 3-4 decades ago. So let's go ahead and read this severe thunderstorm warning, kind of give a little bit more exact wording from the Storm Prediction Center. So we have got a severe thunderstorm warning. It's very large, and we are likely going to continue to see very large severe thunderstorm warnings across this line of storms. This is going to be for Wyandotte County, Kansas, Miami County, Kansas, Southern Linn County, Kansas. Northern Linn County, Kansas, Southwestern Leavenworth, Johnson County in East Central Kansas, Cass County, Northwestern Bates County, and Jackson County in West Central Missouri. Severe thunderstorms located near Lewisburg, moving east at 70 mile per hour wind gust. Those of you just kind of coming in on this, and we are expecting this line of storms to weaken as it continues across the state line. And again, that's one of the reasons why they opted not to include the eastern counties up towards Saline County, up by Marshall, Pettis County, Benton County. You guys are not in that severe thunderstorm watch right now, and they're going to kind of see how this line reacts as it crosses the state line. But all indications that this line will continue to weaken as it crosses the state line. So right now, just our Cass, Johnson, Henry, Bates, St. Clair, and Vernon counties are under this watch until 4 a.m. So up just to the east of Gardner, Kansas, near New Century Air Center, there is a pocket of very strong winds, likely 70 miles per hour or greater, that is moving off to the east northeast right now. The good news, we're not seeing much of the way of any circulations along the leading edge of this line of storms right now. So that's great news. Just very, very strong straight line winds right now. So this thing, this line of storms is really beginning to pick up speed right now. Look like most of it is about 60 miles per hour. So it has sped up considerably over the last few minutes. So we can expect the leading edge of this line to be in Archie in 17 minutes, Urick in 37, Clinton in 50 minutes, Leeton 55, and Calhoun 58 minutes. Peculiar in about 15 minutes, Harrisonville 22, Pleasant Hill in 26 minutes, Warrensburg in 55 minutes, Leeton in 1 hour, and Windsor in about 1 hour. We've got Butler in about 23 minutes, Appleton City in about 40 minutes. Unfortunately, no storm shelters in Clinton. I do know that the emergency room at Golden Valley Memorial Hospital will sometimes allow people, if we get under a warning, say a tornado warning, a lot of times they will allow people in there and take them downstairs. However, that's not guaranteed. We don't have any storm shelters approved by FEMA here in Henry County. Yeah, I think, how's Archie looking? Yeah, we just talked about that just now, so that should have answered your question there. So I am watching this little area right here, and I'll show you guys. Let me put my drawing pencil, this little couplet right here. And again, this is going to be crossing over the state line, mainly rural area. But I am watching that. We do have a little bit of a notch in there. As you can see this right here, a little bit of an inflow notch going in here with a little bit of circulation. This is going to stay, I think, south of Lewisburg as it comes across the state line, but it's definitely something we'll be keeping a close eye on here over the next few minutes, because I am seeing a little bit of rotation there along the leading edge of that line. We've talked about Adrian 3 times here in the last couple minutes, guys, so just prepare here just a few minutes. The line of storms will be reaching the Adrian Archie line there. So really not seeing too much of the way of any other little trouble spots except for this little area down here, kind of southeast of Lewisburg. We do have some close to 50, 60 mile per hour winds moving over toward Westline, Cleveland, that has crossed over the state line now. Also, we got some pretty strong winds heading down 18 highway from west to east, and this is going to be heading down over toward Adrian here the next few minutes. But again, right now nothing is too concerning except for this little area over here by Lewisburg, just south of Lewisburg, right in this area. So we'll be keeping a very close eye really on between Cleveland and just south of Lewisburg. And that's where a couple of these little, if you want to call them little metavortices that are kind of spinning here. I don't know if we'd be able to see that as we put it in motion. Kind of hard to tell, but they are spinning just a little bit. And again, this is a little eddy in that ripple of water in a river. We're starting to see a little eddy here, and again, this is between Cleveland and just south of Lewisburg right here. So Marissa, I'll be live until these cells move through west central Missouri. So we're starting to see a little bit of lightning showing up on our down at the bottom left-hand corner. That's Dayton, Missouri, at the Cass and Bates County line. And we're starting to see a little bit of lightning showing up on that. The other cam is from our sky cam in Creighton, Missouri, overlooking 7 Highway. So we are keeping a close eye on the sky cams as well. So Sedalia, Pettis County, right now they are not in a severe thunderstorm watch. We are still expecting this line to weaken as it continues to push off to the east. So right now Pettis County is not even under a watch at the present time. So these storms are moving very quickly. They are picking up speed around 55 miles per hour to the east. Tyler, thank you so much for that super chat, buddy. Tyler from O3 Customs. And again, big time supporter for Subby's Weather Talk, Midwest Mezzo, Team Havoc, Wax the Slabs, our card store, sports card store here in Clinton. Huge supporters. They are manned by our boys, the Blue, in Bates County with the Bates County Sheriff's Department. So they do fantastic work. And big thanks for that super chat, Tyler. So again, we have these little pockets, one just to the north coming across Cleveland, and another one down here. This is going to be just to the south of Freeman. Mainly rural areas. This is going to continue to push toward Peculiar, Harrisonville, Archie. And so we need to be paying very close attention as this line continues to push in to the Missouri side. Yes, this is definitely a Bow Echo. Put my pen back on. So this Boeing segment right here, we have what's called a rear inflow jet that is pushing this outward, causing this bow. And we are looking here on the, let me erase this. We're looking at this end and this end. Those are kind of our bookends of that Boeing segment for the possibility of any of those small meso vortices that could spin up a short-lived tornado. Won't last very long, relatively weak, but that's what we're watching for along this Bow Echo. And that's also one of the reasons why this severe thunderstorm warning is for up to 70 mile per hour straight line winds. And of course that can produce considerable damage. So we have several reports of 60 mile per hour or greater coming in from over here on the Miami-Lynn County side. So this thing is still packing a pretty good punch as it's crossing over the state line. I'm really kind of watching this area between Martin City down to about Butler. This here can be our kind of our problem area with not only 70 mile per hour winds, but with those little vortices that you see, these little notches. It's creating a little bit of rotation along this line of storms. So that's one of the reasons why I go silent sometimes, because I'm looking at several different programs. So I'm looking at this particular program right now. As you can see, we have an area of rotation of vortice up here near Belton. We also have all the way down through Bates County. We have a line of rotation. Very broad, but that whole line is spinning just a little bit. And that's what I'm watching very closely, because I do know that the National Weather Service on the Kansas side, they did not issue very many tornado warnings, just severe thunderstorm warnings on the Kansas side. So I want to make sure that if I'm able to give you guys kind of a heads up of what's happening, regardless of if the National Weather Service is going to issue a warning or not, that's what I would like to do. So I'm kind of concentrating along this line, looking at several different programs at the same time. So we do have reports of several power outages between Gardner and Paola, Kansas. So of course that's right across the state line here into Lewisburg. So again, everybody needs to be prepared for at least some isolated cases of power outages, especially in the rural areas. This is mainly going to be a wind threat. So there was a couple of reports of hail over on the Kansas side, but there's not much hail that is expected with this line of storms there. Yes, Kenna. Yep, you can go. You can actually go to my. You can go to my website, subbiesweathertalk.com, and there's a link there for Venmo. Thank you. So Belton Raymore, you guys are getting hit with some very strong winds right now, some torrential rains. Nothing concerning other than probably around 50-55 mile per hour winds coming across 49 between Belton and Raymore right now. So still another 16 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning for 70 mile per hour winds with the damage threat considerable. I do have a feeling they will likely extend this severe thunderstorm warning into parts of Johnson and Henry counties here probably within over the next few minutes. Just lost power northwest of Adrian. Thanks, Savannah. So again, what we've been talking about, you need to prepare for power outages when we get winds 60-70 miles per hour, especially in the rural areas. There's a strong likelihood at least for intermittent power outages. So that is definitely on our minds this evening. Really starting to see the lightning intensity pick up on our sky cams that you'll see there at the bottom of the screen. Linda, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate that so much. I sure appreciate all the support you guys give me. So there are a few more little areas of rotation between Peculiar all the way down to just north of Butler in Cass and Bates County. And again, keeping a very close eye on that. Not seeing anything too concerning right now. We still have some very strong winds out ahead of this line of storms right now. Thank you, Elizabeth, for that super chat, girl. Thank you so much. if you guys have been on here for a little while, you guys have, when I switch over to velocity, we don't have those blues, those real dark, cool colors as it comes across the state line. And that's what's kind of leading me to believe that we are maybe starting to see this line really beginning to weaken here over the last few minutes. Still some little line segments, some line segments that are rotating just a little bit broadly. Nothing too concerning right now. But I think actually, let's go ahead and put this in motion. You notice all the blues here. You see how once they get across the state line, the blues and the light blues begin to kind of dissipate a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking. This line has hit that point where it is beginning maybe to weaken just a little bit, which is great news. If we continue to see this little bit of a weakening trend, they may not issue a warning for a little bit further to the east for Johnson and Henry counties. We may be starting to see this line really begin to weaken, and this line has definitely weakened since we were watching this out in eastern Kansas, putting this into motion. You notice that big strong bow, and now it's becoming a little bit more jagged, kind of spread out just a little bit. So I think we're starting to see this line beginning to weaken, but nonetheless, we definitely need to still be paying attention, staying weather aware. We just had a report of 56-mile-per-hour winds in Peculiar. So that's up here. That's really where the strongest of the winds are at, up here in the Belton-Raymore area. Is where we're seeing the strongest of the winds right now, but again, we're paying very close attention to this here. And we are seeing a little bit of a rotation down here just to the northeast of Adrian right now. What you're seeing spinning right there with weather-wise, they are actually utilizing AI as well as visual on radar to come up with areas of rotation as a signal. And it is showing that, and you notice right here, right in this area near Colville, there is a little bit of a couplet right there. So again, we're not out of the woods. It's just the good news. It seems like the strongest winds have subsided a little bit, but that whole line still has that little bit of rotation, a little bit of vorticity, and I'm still showing that also here on my other software. This just follows rotational tracks, vorticity tracks, so to speak. It's not like regular radar. It just follows the rotation. So Bates County, Southern Cass County, we have really the strongest of the vorticity right now. So keep an eye on this over the next couple scans. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a tornado there, but it means that we are seeing that line of storm being able to it's rotating up above the heads, up above our heads. So whether or not that's reaching all the way to the surface is another question. So with this type of setup, with the line of storms, as I mentioned before, you think of it as a river. And whenever a river makes a bend, it creates a little eddy. Okay, and that's exactly what this wall of water does. Is on the bookends, it will create a little eddy, a little area of rotating water, of rotating air, and those are what we watch for that possible spin up. They're officially called quasi-linear vortices, which are basically just a big name for a small, short-lived, weak tornado. So that's what we watch for, are those small little areas of rotation along the leading edge of the line. So it seems like the strongest of any of that vorticity, that spin, is here in southern Cass County and into Bates County, but we're watching that very closely. Okay, so they went ahead and put a new severe thunderstorm warning out. This is going to go ahead and include the western half of Henry and Johnson counties for 60 mile per hour winds.
The National Weather Service in Pleasant Hill has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County, western Henry County, northern Bates County.
Get with you guys 1 second here. Want to make sure everybody here in Henry County. And for those of you that do not know, I am the Deputy Director of Emergency Management for Henry County. I just want to make sure we will see an influx of people here into our stream from Henry County Emergency Management page. So I want to welcome everybody that is tuning in from Henry County Emergency Management page. And again, we just had a recent severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for the western half of Johnson County, the western half of Henry County, and parts of Lafayette County, which includes Odessa, Lake Lafayette. And it's also going to still include the eastern half of both Bates and Cass counties here in west central Missouri for 60 mile per hour winds. We have had a line of storms we've been tracking here over the last couple hours out in eastern Kansas. We do believe this line is weakening just a little bit. However, it still has that potential to produce 60 mile per hour winds and maybe some pea-sized hail as it continues to march across both Cass and Bates counties, and then eventually over toward Warrensburg and Clinton and Johnson and Henry counties. Thank you, Kenneth, for that tip. I appreciate that so much. So the area down here just southwest of Garden City, we've been watching this area. Basically what we're looking for are little eddies, and for any kind of spin ups. There is some rotation along the leading edge of this line of storms tonight. We've been tracking a few of those small areas, and for the potential of any weak spin up tornadoes along the leading edge of this line. The winds are not really all that impressive right now. However, we do still see some rotation pretty much kind of over just to the south of Garden City. This is going to be coming across 7 Highway over towards Creighton and eventually over to Blairstown. And again, it's nothing too concerning right now, but we keeping a close eye on this. We can expect again up to 60 mile per hour winds along the leading edge of this line of storms, and we'll continue to keep a very close eye on that leading edge of the storms for any of those little circulations. There have been numerous power outages, guys. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. But between Gardner to Paola to Belton to Cleveland, Missouri, there are several power outages being reported. So again, this is going to be something that we're going to have to prepare for. And again, you can see all of those lightning strikes here. So it's a very electrified storm. You can see down on our Skycam, one in Dayton, Missouri, which is right up here. Actually, see if I can find Dayton quickly. Garden City, Daughtry, Eastland. It's right up in this area right here. Is where the Dayton, Missouri Skycam is. And then we also, there it is, there's Dayton. Right there, right where that circulation that we've been watching. Right here at that little couplet. So, that's right here at Dayton. And of course you see all the lightning there on our Skycam. We also have another Skycam here at Creighton along 7 Highway. It's going to be looking off toward this cell as well. So a lot of lightning, potential for 60 mile per hour winds. So we definitely want to be prepared for a few power outages. Latest scan, we are still seeing a little bit, and the way that we can see this is you keep in mind that the green, the cool colors, those are the winds that are heading up toward the National Weather Service tower there at Pleasant Hill. And then your warm colors, your reds, your oranges, those are winds that are going away from Pleasant Hill. And whenever you see those two winds going 2 different directions, that's a little bit of rotation there. So that's what we look for. This is very broad. It doesn't mean that there is a tornado by no means, but it's a place where we're watching very closely for maybe a little spin up. And of course, this is coming right across 7 Highway in between Garden City and Creighton. So right in this little area, it looks like it's crossing 7 Highway right now. So coming across Settles Ford, a nice little pocket of winds right here, probably at least 50 miles per hour, that's going to be coming into Creighton here momentarily. And we're still seeing some vorticity from Eastland down through Ballard is where where we're seeing any of that little rotation. This is a different piece of software that only monitors the rotational tracks, the vorticity along that leading edge. We're still seeing a little bit of vorticity, and again from just south of Pleasant Hill down to Garden City and down to about Ballard. So there is still a little bit of spin out there in the atmosphere. So we're still getting several reports of power outages in the peculiar Belton, Raymore, Grandview areas that are coming in. So again, we got to be prepared for power outages, guys. Thank you very much, Virginia. Thank you for that tip. I sure appreciate that. And again, I put this in rotation. Yeah, put this into motion here. And of course, you notice that line of storms is definitely weakening as it's coming in. But it's still packing a pretty good punch. Vernon County, you guys have been placed under a special weather statement for winds up to 50 miles per hour for Vernon County. That's going to include Bernal, Nevada, Walker, Shell City, El Dorado Springs, and that's for the southern half of this line of storms. So definitely be prepared for that. Fort Scott as well. So, but the strongest part of the line of storms right now in between Pleasant Hill and Butler right now is about the strongest part of this line currently. Let's go ahead and let me go back to regular radar here. Let's go ahead and put a couple of timestamps on these. Holden in about 6 minutes, Warrensburg in 20 minutes, Lamont in 37 minutes. Blairstown 8 minutes, Chehowee 13 minutes, Leeton 22 minutes, Calhoun 26, and Windsor in 31 minutes. Clinton in 17 minutes, Leesville 30 minutes, Warsaw 39 minutes, Lincoln 41 minutes. So the Springfield National Weather Service did go ahead and put Benton County and Hickory County underneath that severe thunderstorm watch for the next couple hours. So again, want to make sure you guys know that Benton County and Hickory County both in that severe thunderstorm watch for the next couple hours because of this little line of storms right here. So the line pretty much has moved through Butler, Caden. You're kind of on the backside. You're still getting some moderate rain, but the wind threat is pretty much behind you now. Hi, Misty. Thank you, Michelle, for that tip. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, Caden. Out in central eastern Kansas, they had strong straight line winds in excess of 100 miles an hour. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly out there. So the strongest of winds right now, right along this edge here, from Holden, Blairstown, Urick, Montrose, Appleton City, you guys are beginning to get that influx of pretty gusty winds, 40, 50 miles per hour. And we're still watching this area very closely coming into Urick and Creighton. Right in this little area, this little notch. And again, I like to say it a lot because it's kind of easy to understand, but if you just think of a river, and as the river comes down and makes a bend, there ends up being a little eddy, a little area of rotating water, and that's kind of what you see here as well. You know, you have a line of storms, and you know, whenever you see like a little nook or a little cranny, that's a little eddy that forms. Sometimes you can get some spin ups along that type of scenario. So right now, not seeing anything other than just you know, strong straight line winds, 40, 50 miles per hour is what I'm seeing right now. Basically from Lake Lafayette down to Holden, Creighton, Urick, Montrose, Appleton City right now. Let's take a look at power outages real quick. You can always go to SubbyWeatherTalk.com. Tons of information on here. We always have the latest updates from the Storm Prediction Center right at your fingertips. And then, of course, Weather Call. This right here, all you got to do is click on the link. It will take you right to the Weather Calls. Get signed up. Great service. You'll get a phone call from me day in, day out. Let you know. It's going to let you know from my voice, and I'm going to tell you what you're under and how to protect yourself. So it's a great service. We're going to jump over here to Extreme West Central Missouri Weather, and we'll start off with Evergy. Evergy right now has 79,000 people without power, mainly in the Kansas side. We do have some in the Drexel, Archie area, down by Hume, and up on the near Belton. So a lot of power outages that they're dealing with for Evergy. Osage Valley, looks like they have about 500 people without power right now, mainly in Cass and Bates County right now. Como, they do not have any outages at this time. Sac Osage, they do not have anybody out at this time. West Central Co-op, looks like they only have, I think, one customer out right now. So looks like everything is mainly on the Kansas side. But again, you can find all this information subbiesweathertalk.com. You guys can see how this line looks right now. Now let's put it in motion. You can see how this line is really weakening. So it is beginning to lose its punch just a little bit. Nonetheless, we still have another 15 minutes left. Severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds. And this is mainly going to be along and east of a line from Lone Jack, Pleasant Hill, Garden City, and Butler over to Odessa, Warrensburg, Chehowee, Clinton, and Deepwater. So looks like we probably just lost our cams. There's a possibility of much lightning that was going on there, that was on our sky cams. There's a chance we might have lost. We might have had a lightning strike at one of our locations. So. John mentioned power out in Creighton. So the total numbers, Evergy in Cass County has 264 people without power. Osage Valley 334 in Cass County. So we've got quite a few power outages out there right now. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate those kind words. No, nothing. So Nevada right now is under that special weather statement for just some gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour. So anyway, that's nothing. A lot of lightning with this, so it's going to be loud for a little while down in Vernon County. But nothing too imminent other than up to 50 mile per hour winds. Maybe some pea-sized hail, but I'm not seeing any hail at all with that line in Vernon County. Oh, Uric is out of power now too. Thank you, Brandy. That's one good thing about Osage Valley, Evergy as well. You know, they're kind of the unsung heroes. Whenever we lose power, you know, it's such an inconvenience for us. But you know, we owe a lot to the linemen to go out in the middle of this stuff and climb a pole to get our power back on again. So we're very fortunate to have Osage Valley as well as Evergy here in our area. They do a great job, and especially Osage Valley, they do a lot of rural areas. They go down some dirt roads, gravel roads, just to be able to get our power back on. So big shout out to the crew over at Osage Valley for taking care of us during these times when we lose electricity. I know a lot of guys I consider friends over there at Osage Valley. They do a great job. Windsor's going to get some thunderstorms, but we're not. We're expecting this line of storm to continue to weaken as it moves off to the east. So, you know, Windsor, you guys are under that severe thunderstorm watch. So we're just going to have to see how this end of the line continues to move. Right now, everything that I'm seeing, I'm only keeping kind of an eye on this little area here. It's now past Uric, past 7 Highway. It's coming up toward the Chehowee-Leeton 13 Highway area, down on M Highway by Norris, Shawnee Mound area. Just kind of watching this little area right here. There's a little bit of an in cut right here. So, but I'm not really seeing much of the way of any severe winds right now with this line of storms coming through Johnson and Henry County. Maybe some gusty 40-50 mile per hour winds and a lot of lightning. But I'm not seeing anything really too drastic or imminent with this line of storms right now. Hey. So Greg, I'm not jealous, because if you notice, I don't know, you can't see in my background, but you might be able to see a little bit about right here. That's the TV, and that has max velocity on it. That's what I was watching before I go live. I do like max as well. No, I'm not going to be able to tell anybody to be able to go to bed while we're still under a severe thunderstorm watch, and we have the line of storms haven't even hit you yet. So again, if you're in Warrensburg, Knob-Noster, Leeton, Chehowee, Clinton, Calhoun, Warsaw, that's not a time to go to bed line to be drawn yet. Now, if you're in the Adrian, Archie, Harrisonville, Peculiar, Butler area, yeah, you guys are behind this line of storms. You guys are going to be in pretty good shape. So, you know, basically, if we were going to draw a line, we would draw a line pretty much about like this. So anybody in this area, you guys are pretty much good to go to bed. But we're still got to watch out here in front of this line. Yeah, Independence, you guys are good to go, Bobby Joe. So there are multiple reports of downed power lines between Drexel and Archie. So again, that's another big cause for power outages. Yeah, Jaylee, and again, we've been talking about this as this line continues to move into on the Missouri side. We have been expecting it to weaken as it continues to push off to the east, and yes, we are seeing this line of storms continue to weaken. I do not think we are going to see any downstream warnings ahead of this for, say, Pettis or Eastern Johnson, Henry County, Benton County. I don't think we're going to see any downstream warnings from this. Right now, I'm not seeing really much of the way of very strong winds all the way down this line, again, with the exception of this little area that I'm constantly keeping a close eye on, and that's this area right here just to the north of Clinton. We got some pretty strong winds just on the north side of 7 right in here, and we still have just a little bit of rotation right along that leading edge of the line. So I am kind of watching that. That's really the only area that I am watching at the present time right now. Everything else seems to be pretty much calming down across west central Missouri, for that matter. Vernon County, you guys were under that special weather statement, and you have another 4 minutes left on it. Nothing pressing down here at all in Vernon County. Just some, looks like we still have some moderate to heavy rain still in Vernon County, but other than that, you're in pretty good shape. Looks like the leading edge of this line is just coming in on the west side of Clinton right now, where I am here in the cellar of the courthouse in the beautiful downtown Clinton Square here at the courthouse. You can't sleep in pitch black. Thank you, Susan, for that tip. Thank you so much. That's awesome. You guys always take good care of me. I'm going to be able to go get me some breakfast in the morning. You guys are awesome. Thank you all. All the super chats, super stickers, all the tips tonight. Thank you guys so much for all that. That is awesome. And again, make sure, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified whenever I go live, and it really helps to spread due to YouTube's algorithm. It really helps out if you hit the thumbs up, hit that little bell, and that will notify you every time that I go live. So definitely do that. That really helps out the channel a lot. I appreciate that. Yeah, a little bit of a little pocket of wind coming through Huntingdale, Quarles, coming across 13 Highway, right around the Shawnee Mound area. We could be seeing some of those 50, 55 mile per hour winds. I don't think all of it is making it all the way down to the surface, but we've got some 70 mile per hour winds showing up on radar. But that could be transposing down to 50 to 60 mile per hour winds at the surface. So we still have some strong winds out there. And again, this is near Huntingdale, Quarles, along N Highway, crossing over 13 Highway. So I would not be surprised to start seeing a few power outages along N Highway. Probably from Shawnee Mound to Quarles to on the north side of Clinton. We could be seeing some power outages in this area for those wind gusts. No power in Clinton. Oh, thanks, Greg. Thank you. So Leslie mentioned no power in Clinton. So I'm just kind of taking a guess. Maybe you're on the north side of Clinton, Leslie, maybe. And again, that's where we're kind of seeing a few of these little bit heavier pocket of winds up here. West of Clinton. Thanks, Caleb. So again, we have some a pocket of pretty strong winds. Could be somewhere between 50 to 60 miles per hour. This is going to be really from about Clinton north to around Shawnee Mound along 13 Highway. Oh, 3rd and Bodine. So you're right smack dab in the middle of town. Reagan's going to be picking up The diploma. Oh, I'm sure power's going to be back on for school. So the severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. We are still looking at some pretty strong winds just north of Clinton, up 13 to Leeton. Maybe anywhere between 50-55 mile per hour winds. Not sure if all of that is reaching the surface right now, as we are a little bit away from the radar site there at Pleasant Hill. But nonetheless, very gusty winds coming into the towns of Calhoun and eventually Windsor here over the next 20 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and throw. So we are going to still see some scattered thunderstorms. A severe threat though, and again, if let's go ahead and throw a line up here. So if you're in this area here, Garden City, Urick, Adrian, Butler, Appleton City, Rich Hill, Montrose, and in this area here, it's night time for you guys. Okay, so it is Z time for you guys. We're still going to allow this line of storm to continue to push off to the east. And again, I don't expect any more severe weather associated with this line. This severe thunderstorm warning, Polygon, that's still up, it had been allowed to expire about 6 minutes ago. Weather-wise has not taken this off of here yet, but the National Weather Service has allowed this to expire. So as of right now, we don't have any warnings here in West Central Missouri. No warnings in West Central Missouri. And I don't expect any more from this line. But keep in mind that if you do go to bed, remember there could still be a couple power outages yet. You know, sometimes it after the storm blows through, it takes a branch or something that was broke to actually fall out of a tree, hit a line. So just make sure if you have an alarm clock, make sure that you have battery backup, just in case you lose power here over the next hour or two. Latest scan still showing some pockets of 35 to 45 mile per hour winds, really from Clinton to Calhoun down to Leesville, Tightwad. But again, nothing severe right now anywhere here in West Central Missouri. Tableville's looking just fine right now. Allison, you probably want to hang on about another 15 minutes or so. You go to bed. Rich Hill, also, you guys are looking good right now too. You can go to bed in Rich Hill. I've got a few questions that was brought up on Facebook Messenger tonight. I have not been able to answer. We've had quite a bit of stuff going on, but I am putting up a link in chat. There have been some questions. How do you get Weather Call? Weather Call is a service. It costs a little over $1 a month, $15 for the entire year. If you order it now, it takes you all the way through severe season next year. And basically, you get a text and an email whenever there's a warning, watch, or advisory. If it's say a tornado warning or an extreme warning like 70-mile-per-hour winds, regardless of the time of day it is or night, you'll get a phone call and you'll hear me on the other end, and I'm going to be telling you what you're under and how to protect yourself. So this is a service. It's not an app. It has the Find Me button where if you go on vacation to Branson or say to Orange Beach, you can click that button and it's going to put a dome over you wherever you're at, and it's going to do the same thing. If you are in Branson and Branson gets under a tornado warning, you're going to get a phone call with me on the other end telling you you're under a tornado warning. So it's a great service, $15 for an entire year, and I'm going to throw that up here in chat right now, and you guys can click on the link. It'll tell you more information about it. So anybody that has asked that question up there and sent to me on Messenger, I think I had 5 of you, that is the link to Weather Call NextGen. Yes, Warrensburg, you are good to go for the night. So right along that leading edge, guys, we can expect 40, 45 mile per hour winds from just east of Warrensburg down through Windsor, Calhoun, Leesville, Deepwater, Lowry City, Osceola, Brownington, all the way down to El Dorado Springs. 40, 45 mile an hour wind gusts. It's going to be a little bit windy, and then you're going to get some moderate rainfall, quite a bit of lightning. You don't have to. You're not going to have to worry about Warsaw. No, you're not going to have to worry about Warsaw. You're going to get a line of moderate heavy rains, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of wind, but it should stay below severe limit for you in Benton County. Thanks, Jamer. James is sitting right in this area right here. A little bit of wind down his way, and it looked like the rain just started. down in the big metropolis of Cole, Missouri. Looks like the heaviest rains right now is Chehowee, Leeton, Calhoun, and be coming into Windsor. Some moderate rain going to be falling. And again, not seeing much of the way of any kind of winds, with the exception of maybe a 40-45 mile an hour wind gust. All right, have a good sleep up there in the big town of Warrensburg. Junior, my man, up all night with Subby again. I know, brother. I'm telling you. Over there in Benton County, Jay, you're looking at 40-45 mile an hour wind gusts as that line moves through. It's gonna sing. It's gonna blow the trees. It's gonna blow a few things around, but nothing. It should stay below severe limits. And then you'll get hit with some moderate rain, a little bit of lightning and thunder, but other than that, you're in pretty good shape over there in Benton County. Centerview, you guys can go to bed. Yeah, this line has really lost a lot of the punch right now, but again, because it's so muggy out there, we have a lot of energy, so these storms are going to be kind of electrified. They're going to have some gusty winds with it, but again, the rest of the evening, this line of storms is going to stay below severe limits. But if you're getting hit with heavy rain, and you got 45 mile an hour winds blowing that rain around, it's going to look a lot uglier than what it is out there. So let's take a look what else we have. No, there isn't. Tornado chances tonight was very, very low, close to zero. But this line of storms was producing some very short spin ups. But this line has greatly weakened here over the last hour or so. So tornado threat is, we can't ever say it's zero, but it's awfully close to that mark. Oh, thank you very much. Watching from St. Louis. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. And again, what we love to do here, something we've done for the last few years, is we're kind of smack dab in between two National Weather Service forecast centers, one in Pleasant Hill in Kansas City and one in Springfield. And sometimes our counties kind of get left out of a lot of the communication, a lot of the talk. So every time we have severe weather anywhere around West Central Missouri, we like to go live, and we kind of like to talk through it and make sure everybody is up to date with the latest weather information. Actually, I'm not sure as far as how much rain Clinton has received yet. I'm not sure. The rainfall amounts have really kind of they've gone down quite a bit. I can show you what the radar estimations look like. Clinton is about an inch in Clinton for the day. All right, Chris, have a good night, man. Yeah, it's going to be hot. That's what I'm getting ready to go over right now, actually. So tomorrow we are going to be under a heat advisory. We're going to have temperatures up around 90 degrees. Very, very humid tomorrow. We're going to have heat indexes up there close to 105 to 110. So it's going to be very hot tomorrow. Make sure if you're working outside that you guys drink plenty of fluids. Drink cold water. Gatorades and stuff are great. They help replenish some of your electrolytes. Just make sure you drink plenty of fluids if you're working outdoors tomorrow. Really our first heat day of the year coming up tomorrow. So, we want to make sure that we protect ourselves. Looking out ahead. Now, taking a look at the So tomorrow we don't have to worry. We're going to get a little bit of a break for the next couple days. So for tomorrow, no thunderstorms. We're going to see sunshine. Once the clouds and what's left of thunderstorms move out tomorrow morning, we will break out in some sunshine, get very, very warm. Heat advisory for tomorrow for all of West Central Missouri. And then when we go to Wednesday, we're going to have another day into the 90s. And then late Wednesday night into Thursday, again, we could start to see. This is going to be likely. Let's go to day 3 category. So day 3, this is when we are likely going to see maybe another reappearance of some strong to severe thunderstorms. And then for the weekend, anybody with weekend plans, and again, it's going to be another weekend. It's going to be hard to plan anything. We are going to see maybe some morning, maybe some afternoon, evening thunderstorms. And again, we have that severe threat as we go into the weekend. So we're in a very active weather pattern right now. I expect us to continue up into the middle of the month, around the 15th. We could see a huge cold front that gets sent down from our good friends up in Canada. And of course, that could lead to more severe weather but cooler temperatures as we go into that last week of June. So we'll kind of have to wait and see how that plays out. But again, we've been expecting to have a extended severe weather season, in which we have into June. And we still have a couple more weeks of severe weather. And then what the jet stream does, it actually will lift north up into the northern plains into Canada. That opens up the floodgates for all the warm temperatures from down to the south, and then they will start their severe season up there in Canada. But we're still a few weeks away from that yet. Gina, thank you so much, man. That is awesome of you. Thank you for that super sticker. That's awesome. jump back over here to, now this is going to be through our short-term models. This is not our in-house model. Let's see what it is showing for us for the rest of the evening. So here is the current, here's the current look right now. This is this line of storms that's moving through our area right now. And of course, as we go to the 4-5 time frame, we'll have a couple other little cells tomorrow morning that we'll be watching. Right now, it's not looking like too bad. Maybe a strong wind gust, but of course, I will be up monitoring those cells in the morning from the Weather Center as well. So I took a nice little nap earlier tonight to be able to stay up for the next 6 hours. So, but nonetheless, as we go through the day tomorrow, that's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then as we go into 11 o'clock tomorrow night, still nothing out there on radar. Now this is taken from the short-term high-resolution model HRRR, and this is the latest information. It's still loading. So we're gonna have a few hours of thunderstorms. The biggest severe threat is pretty much over for west central Missouri, and again, we're gonna get some thunderstorms, some lightning, some thunder, some gusty winds. We've got a pocket of some pretty heavy rain going on down near Atro Bartle, Scout Reservation. They're getting wet right now. Osceola Vista, nothing severe. And again, this polygon box is still up here. Weather-wise, hadn't taken it off yet. I don't know if I would to refresh if it would take it off or not, but oh, it did. So it just didn't auto refresh. So no warnings here in west central Missouri. I'm not expecting any more for tonight. And then I will be watching radar in the morning. We could get a couple isolated thunderstorms first thing in the morning, 6-7 a.m. It's going to be very isolated, very scattered. And then be watching maybe for a strong wind gust out of one of those cells. But nonetheless, I think we're in good shape for the rest of the night. I think everybody can go back to bed, get a good night's sleep tonight. It might be loud for a while, but just make sure you have your weather radios on to keep up. And again, with weather call and a weather radio, you're getting a layer. Layers save lives, so you have to have multiple means to get weather information, and that's something that I push all the time, that I talk to people. Have 2 or 3 ways to be able to get that weather information. We know that firsthand here in Henry County, as last year the weather radio tower in Shawnee Mound was down. We had no weather radios, and people was just like, oh, what do we do now? So again, you have to have that multiple means of getting that weather information. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, and again, our severe threat, I do believe, is over for the night. I'm not just signing off and going to bed. I'm going to be monitoring this. We don't have any warnings in west central Missouri right now. We still have some thunderstorms out there left in Pettis County, down St. Clair County, Vernon County, but again, I think they're going to stay below severe limits for the rest of the night. So everybody go get a good night's sleep, and I'll be watching over radar for the next few hours, and if I need to update, I'll update on all of our social media platforms and give you guys a full update first thing tomorrow morning from the Weather Center. So that's going to do it for me right now, guys, and we're going to go ahead and end this live stream. Appreciate everybody coming into the stream. Make sure you like, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you like the video on Facebook. That way we can get this information to more and more people out there in west central Missouri. And I'd We've been having a steady influx of people coming into our Subby's Weather Talk group. More the merrier. The more people we get involved, the more that we can all help each other stay safe. So that's going to do it for me right now, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your night, and I'll be talking to you guys soon.